My favorite InterVarsity memory would be, well, there's a lot of them, but top two I would say would be all the countless hours of ultimate frisbee, and then the one that sticks with me the most is 3 years ago, sitting in a room with 3 other people trying to start up the South Loop Whitcomb, and just seeing what it is today is just amazing.
I think my favorite Ivy memory or memories just come from all the friends that I made through Ivy. I met Megan in Ivy League and lots of things there, and did slightly illegal things with Chelsea probably. And Kelsey Keel, one of my best friends since the first day of first grade, became a Christian, and InterVarsity had a big part in that, and it's one of my favorite memories ever. And yeah.
The ones that stand out the most though come from stargazing with a lot of friends. Especially there was one time in particular with D-Town and Joseph Becker. Anytime you hang out with Joseph Becker, you're probably gonna have a fun time. Last night at CFW, like sophomore year, we saw some awesome stars, and yeah, anytime stargazing probably.
I would say my favorite Ivy memory is from freshman year, just like aimlessly playing Mario Kart for hours on end. And when we wanted to play Mario Kart and we didn't know if Jake's room was open, we would just like scream our man call down the hallway, and if he responded, then we knew that we could go play. And if he didn't respond, then we knew that he wasn't there. So that was pretty great.
I guess for me it wouldn't be one specific thing, but the kind of family that we had in Brockert was awesome, and there's just tons of good memories. Just playing games, hanging out, doing stuff on weekends. Just tons of fun with that group, and that's something I'll always remember.
One of my favorite memories, I would say, would be from fall conference my sophomore year. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and I remember I was newer to the chapter, so I didn't quite know everybody yet. But I ended up sharing a bed with Nathan Blaubach, which I didn't know very well at that point. So I put up that divider pillow in the middle to keep from accidental touching during the night. But then at one point I woke up and our feet were intertangled, and we didn't talk about it until we got back, but it was a fun time. That whole fall conference was a blast.
My favorite Ivy memory. Yeah, this was a hard one. I actually made a list of them before, and I couldn't think of what the best one would be. I mean, I've really enjoyed like going out and doing our wrestling matches on the M, and I've liked just a lot of little things. I went on that trip with Beans and Mike and Taylor Ham down to Florida. That was fantastic. I just even love just watching Fairy Tale with my roommate, and those are things that are all related to Ivy. Probably my favorite thing, one of my favorite things that really sticks out is the night we stayed up till like 5 a.m. and me and Nick smacked each other around. That was a good time. But those are all fantastic memories.
So my favorite Ivy memory happened my junior year. Beverly and I were up really late, like normal, and it was my birthday, and we decided it'd be really fun to try and turn on the urinal in the girls' bathroom. So we went in there and like we couldn't get it to go because it probably hasn't been used in forever. So we were like trying to get it to go and like doing these dances, and then finally we got it to go, and it wouldn't stop running, and we were like freaking out because we were like, our Aunt Call's gonna come and they're gonna, be mad at us or whatever. So we were like frantically trying to figure out how to turn it off, and Beverly was trying to do all these tricks and like reset it. Meanwhile, I was calling my fiance and was like, how do you turn off urinals? And actually when I was on the phone with him, she like came out of the bathroom and she's like, we figured it out, it stopped. I was like, okay, good. So that was probably my favorite Ivy memory, so.
Hello. So my favorite InterVarsity memory would be planning the night of deliverance, getting to see God work in and through that, and being a part of all of that. And sing.
Okay, my favorite Ivy memory was the fall conference of my junior year. So I was inviting this new freshman, his name was Aaron, and he comes to fall conference, he's not a Christian. And so we're at the final dance party, and he just like gives me this look like something's up. And so like, Aaron, do you want to go take a walk? And so we take a walk out by memory lane, and I just asked like, what's up? He was talking about his heart, and it's like, do you want to accept Christ? And I said, yes. And so we prayed, and we ended up singing Consuming Fire, burn deep within. Like, we sang it over and over again. It was such a beautiful memory of this man coming to know Christ, and he's now my roommate and now my groupsman.
Alright, so my favorite Ivy memory is probably just going to CFW last year. It was my first time being able to go, and just being able to like hang out with everybody, ride around the canoes and kayaks, and just experience God in a new way. We got to do a lot of walks and a lot of like time reflecting, and so there was definitely a time where I got to sit on a dock and just watch the clouds go by, and it was just a nice time to reflect on the semester and what God has done.
So my favorite Ivy memory is I really enjoyed Ultimate Cantaloupe this year. I didn't go the last 2 years I was here because I was dumb. This year we've had a lot of really cool WHAM events. Had the girls over and played rock band, card games, all kinds of stuff, all hours of the night. And also shoving, like, I know there was at least one time for sure we shoved 17 or 18 people in my room last year and watched a movie, and yeah, it was fun.
I don't think I have like a favorite memory per se specifically, but I have like a deep appreciation for how much this chapter appreciates stupid stuff. Like, whether it's, you know, playing full tackle baseball with a flip-flop and a ball of tinfoil in a dorm room basement, or doing a stupid Bernie Sanders impression during Whitcomb Jeopardy. Like, there's just so much more room for just being absolutely ridiculous here, and it's just so much fun.
I think God has really just gotten a hold of me in college. When I came into college, I was probably pretty lukewarm, and there was like kind of a process that started probably somewhere in my junior or senior year of high school, when I was like, okay, I go to church and there's all these people that are like, obviously this means something to them, but why do I not feel a lot of things? And so God kind of started a process in me, and then when I got here to school, I just, he kind of was like, okay, you're gonna go all in now and really understand the mission and like my purpose, and I've just completely become a different person, and I'm more confident in who I am in Christ and the talents and abilities that He's given me, and how to use them and bring glory back to Him, and it's just, it's a good thing.
Coming into college, I had definitely a strong Christian background, and had a personal relationship with Christ, and was definitely decided that that's what the way I wanted to go with my life was to follow Christ. But I didn't really understand or see the importance of evangelism, especially from, obviously it's important, but as it pertained to me, I didn't really see that, and didn't have really a drive for that until I came to college, and God really opened my eyes to what that looked like for me, to be someone who makes disciples, who make disciples. So I would say that was a good change.
Yeah, God's definitely transformed me a lot through college. My freshman year, I wasn't really involved in InterVarsity at all, and that really made me realize like how important like his community and his family is, because like not having that for the first time was really hard for me, and but luckily Jesse and people from Brockert continue to reach out to me and show me the importance of good Christ-centered community, and how much that can grow you as a person, and how you can help each other grow as well.
The number one way that God has transformed me through college is to gain a better understanding of how the gospel impacts my entire life. And more specifically, that He's more after my heart and not after the actions that I do or the things that I do for Him, and that His love for me is what should motivate me to like go tell other people about Him, because without that, it's just a bunch of things that you have to do on a checklist. So probably the number one that God's transformed me. So.
And I started coming to college as an atheist, and now I'm a Christian, so that's a big start. But God has given me a much more caring heart to care and love for people, to ask about people's hearts, understand that importance. He's taught me how to lead, how to interact with people. This time in varsity has completely reshaped who I am as a person, and I'm completely different because of it.
God has transformed me in a lot of ways over college. He's definitely recaptured my heart. At the beginning of college, I wasn't really following my faith, but towards the middle of college, he grabbed me and said, "Come back to me." And ever since then, it's just been a journey of him showing me love and showing me that people care, and it's been an awesome journey.
The one thing I definitely would say is when NSO creeps around, don't be afraid to go knock on a few doors. You never know what'll happen, and just don't be afraid to reach out to people.
Spend time with God on a regular basis and rest. You have to spend time in the Word with God daily because it's a relationship, and it's not just something that I have to do, but when it is a relationship, it's not a to-do list anymore, and learning how to be open and honest with God and go and pursue that, and He'll change your heart and your life. And then also resting is super important because we undervalue sleep so much in college, and it's literally just that simple, get sleep, because you'll get burnt out both physically and mentally and spiritually. You're drained. Those are the two biggest things for me.
So if you're not having fun being on mission, then you're probably doing something wrong. Being on mission for God and with God is the coolest thing we can do. So being able to rest in the fact that He's done everything and that we can just go out and share the love and joy that we have in Jesus is a reward in and of itself. So if you're getting burned out from it, then really press into your relationship personally with Jesus, because He is just that good.
So my words of wisdom for the chapter would be to step out and take risks. And if you're feeling kind of like there's some kind of hindrance or pressure, keep pushing, because God is moving in that situation, whether you can see it or not. And being able to overcome those obstacles and see how God works at the end of all of that is so beautiful and wonderful. And that's definitely how people come to know and love and serve Him, is our persistence in their hearts and in their lives, and care for people well, and just showing them the joy that we have in Jesus.
I feel like if you can really trust God and really give something to Him, that is going to be the best advice I can ever give you. If you can really trust God, and if you have a problem or an issue, go to your brothers, go to your friends, but also just pray and trust God. That would be number one, absolutely. And probably number two would be really never forgetting to welcome people. And I'm not talking about just the leaders and just the people that are in authority or have leadership roles. I want like everybody. If there's someone new that joins your group, take the time, just go up and say something to them. It makes just such a world of difference. And never ever stop being welcoming, and welcome everyone that ever has a chance to join you and maybe grow their relationship with Christ and build His kingdom here. That is absolutely important.
I think my words of wisdom would just be live wide awake. Life on earth is too short to just coast through anything, especially college, especially when you have this opportunity to be around so many people and have them forced to interact with you even. It doesn't always have to be what you think it should be interaction-wise, but whether it's just walking into class, making one person smile throughout the day, or sharing Jesus with somebody, live wide awake so you can see those opportunities and really bring the light of God wherever you go into the world.
So next up for me is I'm going to be moving back home for a little bit, hopefully a little bit. But then I will be working at the Vollrath company in Sheboygan, Wisconsin as a manufacturing engineer. And some of the things you guys can be praying for me about is that I can find a new community to get involved with and just continue to grow in my faith.
So I have a job as a materials engineer at Woodward in Rockford, Illinois. I interned there and they were just kind of like, hey, do you want to come back and work for us? And I was like, yes, I want a job. So I'm super excited about that, but I think I'm more nervous about moving back home. I'll be living with my parents at least for a couple of months, then my goal is to get out of there. But just finding a church home in the area and being able to make meaningful connections there. But yeah, definitely just pray that I'd be able to find a church community that is active with God's moving presence and also like theologically sound and not crazy. So
So after this, I'm gonna be moving to Madison. Still have to find housing, but I'm gonna start at a place called Electrical Consultants. I'm gonna be doing power tower design. We'll see what happens with that, and really hoping to find a good church and Christian community to be a part of. So you can pray for me in that. That I know there's something there waiting for me, but that I can find that and really jump into that and get involved. And yeah, I don't know what the future holds, so we'll see.
So I'm getting married in September, and that's kind of fun and exciting, but also nerve-wracking. And you know, like I'm gonna be in Platteville for a couple of years, but it's gonna be living off campus, of course, with Lauren, my fiance, and yeah, so prayers for that would be great because I'm really not sure where I'm going, and after a couple of years we're gonna move back to Milwaukee and start our family and lives there. So
I'm getting married, which is awesome. I've been waiting a long time for that. Anyway, it's only 100 days today. So, very excited for that. Michelle Gitlin, by the way. That's who I'm getting married to. Yeah. And then I'll be student teaching in the fall, and I'm really excited for that. And I know it's going to be difficult, but it'll be easier because I'll be married to the coolest person ever. And maybe that's just my opinion, but I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's probably going to be tough, but I'm excited to jump into that, and to jump into that with Michelle, and then just see where God takes us. So you can be praying for me and Michelle as we enter into marriage together. That's going to be really great, and I'm sure we're going to learn a lot. But yeah, just be praying that through that partnership we draw closer to God, and that we are an effective ministry tool for Jesus through that. And then yeah, just pray for jobs for both of us, that we can find places to work so that we can survive.
I'm graduating technically in August, taking an online class, but I'm also working at camp this summer again, so that is my plan up until middle of August. After that, I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but just prayer for guidance and trust that God will provide a way. I know He will. I just trying to see what it is yet. Yeah, so if you guys could definitely be praying about that, about guidance and discretion about what to do, that'd be great.
Yeah, I got a job in Fond du Lac. Yippee, Fond du Lac. I have no idea why Fond du Lac, because it seems like the most random place in the world to me, being from Illinois, but it's at a company called Excel Engineering. They have engineers, architects, surveyors. It's just what I wanted in a job, so I'm really excited about that. Everything is looking great from that end. As far as prayer for me, just pray, I guess, that I can be the best engineer I can be. You know, I can do the best for my my bosses in my company, and and make everybody proud in that regard. And yeah, I guess with that, pray that I find an apartment, and because I don't know one of those yet. But yeah, otherwise that's probably the gist of it. So
next, I'll be getting married in July, and to Zach Wallen. And then after we're getting married, we'll be moving to North Central Iowa, where I just took a job with the company out there, which I'm really excited about. So the way you could be praying for me is right now Zach's pretty involved in his church, but it's not very mission-minded, and the people there seem kind of stuck in their ways. So if you could pray for us to have wisdom in how to approach that and ways to be missional in the quote-unquote real world, and how to be impactful for Christ.
This summer, I'll be going to IVLI if Jake gets my staff application done. And then outside of that, potentially working at Cedar, potentially being in Platteville, not for sure. But then for the next year, I'll be in Platteville, kind of discerning where I plan on going after. What I see myself doing in different ministries or through different jobs or discipleship groups. So prayers would be for just that God be making clear where I'm supposed to go and what my next step is.
So what's happening next for me is going to Chapter Focus Week, getting married right after that. My cameraman here is my best man, then honeymoon, and hopefully starting a full-time job. I'm doing interviews for that as we speak. So prayers for me that God would continue to provide graciously, that He would teach me how to be a good husband, and a good worker wherever I work, that He would bless our future ministry and where we live, and that He would use us to change and greatly impact wherever me and my wife are placed.
After graduation, I will be probably working at the place that I've interned over the past 3 summers, at least for the immediate future. And then I'll probably start looking for like a full-time job. I mean, that will be full-time, but a permanent job directly after. So I guess ways that you can be praying is just pray that I find something full-time and something that's interesting to me.
So next is continued job hunt. I'm going to go back to where I had my internship at least for a little while, but it's not a permanent thing, or I don't want it to be permanent. So job hunt, and I live in Rockford and I don't really want to stay there, so also probably moving maybe over the summer, maybe in the next year or so. And yeah, that's most of what's happening next for me.
Well, at this point, my future is pretty up in the air. I think I'm moving to Cedar Rapids after graduation, and somewhere down the line this November I'm getting hitched, so that's pretty exciting too. And so I think the ways you can be praying for me, just that I find a job somewhere, still looking at this point, find a way to get plugged into a community, make a living somewhere, get situated, and that my marriage that will be happening sometime soon, that really honors God and we keep Him at the center of everything.